Good morning and welcome to Rare Sense Studios. Well, the picture in the screen, it may not be clean, but it's a picture of a turkey. The turkey is a symbol of a holiday that we Americans, going to practice tomorrow. It's called Thanksgiving. And like I guess the turkey is the sacrificial animal for this holiday called Thanksgiving. And turkey farms all over the United States, they raise these birds here for the sole purpose of being sacrificed. We put on, millions of civilians dinner table tomorrow to help celebrate and give thanks for the holiday known as Thanksgiving. But what are we being thankful for? For that bird that's been put up there as a symbol? Now, I can very easily have dug up a picture of a buffalo or a bison and put up there. But then if we replace that turkey with the buffalo or the bison, we wouldn't be giving thanks too much because we know the history of the buffalo or the bison. The buffalo was another animal that roamed the shores here in America that the original inhabitants, they fed off of. They made their teepees, their houses off of. They clothed themselves to help survive the harsh winters here in America. And what happened was settlers that supposedly discovered the Americas found that in the midst of their discovery, it was people here already. And their objectives was clear and convincing amongst themselves to take this land and to decimate the population that was here. To make a bunch of words fit into one word, genocide. Genocide is the concept of killing off an entire group of people that you find in a particular locality. And generally it's generated because of the craving or desire to take what it is that they have. Yes, to take what it is that they possess. And genocide means literally taking it from them because they have no intentions on giving it up. Now, the folks that was here were, the aboriginals here were Indians. I'm not going to go into the etymology of the word. I might say the Taino Indians, but Indians. Now, the Indians was here when the settlers came here. And I am, and I quote, African American, a Muslim who happens to be African American. And my ancestors were brought here as captives and reduced to slavery to help come build this country, because which the settlers saw fit as it being wilderness, and they wanted to introduce their concept of civilization. Okay, but the Indians, to reiterate myself, the Indians was already here. So what had to happen was the Indians had to be killed off, and those who wasn't killed off were secluded into little federally funded and protected areas called reservations. And it's sad because nowadays when we think of reservations, for especially those who smoke, we think about tax-free cigarettes. We don't look at the history of the people that's been put there because of the fact that they've been secluded to these, technically they're like concentration camps. They can express their cultural ideas as long as they stay on that little piece of land that's been given to them by the very settlers who took it from them. And all these things are tied into this holiday tomorrow called Thanksgiving. And genocide, I guess, is applicable to this to that turkey there, but also to the buffalo. But more importantly, to the group of people who was here called the Indians. And I feel their pain when this holiday comes around. I feel their pain when this holiday passes. I feel their pain all while. Every time I see a turkey, I feel their pain because how has we've been able to been ridiculously reduced into supporting and aiding and embedding this particular holiday, which we call Thanksgiving, without understanding what the thanks are really being given for, because we are accepting something that diametrically opposes what Thanksgiving's supposed to be for. We're supposed to be giving thanks for life, not taking life. If you want to give thanks for life. That's something you should give thanks for every day you wake up and you find breath in you. The toil and struggle. If we want to give thanks. Now, the Indians here was murdered off, and then the settlers, they minted a coin as a nickel. And on the nickel, actually, the nickel is technically it's like it has the buffalo, which I think really is a bison on one side, and the picture of an Indian or Indian chief on the other side. And it's my understanding, the Indian on the coin, the nickel, is not even really a real. It's not even really a real Indian. It's one of the settlers posing as an Indian to take the picture, to show respect for the Indians. They was reduced to a nickel, a buffalo nickel. To remember the European aspect of their history. Now, again, tomorrow, so many of us is gonna put this bird on the table and pray over it. When we pray over that bird, we have to ask ourselves, what are we really praying for, and why are we praying over this bird, and what are we truly giving thanks for? Now, technically, it should be a day that we should be fasting. Fasting means to abstain from partaking and dining on the culinary dishes that's being made specifically for that day. We should push back from the table and fast from it. Because every year that we support it is another year that we support the history of a holiday that's being perpetuated by a concept called genocide. Yes, and fasting will help us to learn self-restraint. All right, well, for those of you who insist on eating a turkey, I'm not going to say I hope your conscience bother you, but if you're not a settler who's really benefiting from this holiday, your conscience should bother you, because you're following a fashion that ain't even built for you. It's built to destroy you. It's built to amalgamate your culture into theirs, to amalgamate your history into theirs. And me being the descendant of people, my mother and father and their mother and father, and matter of fact, my mother's grandfather was a slave. She tells me about all the time. We being descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. We supposed to push from that's supposed to help us push from the table, man. You know what I'm saying? And if we're supposed to be really looking at this like this, what do you think about the Indians, man? What, they don't have no say so? We only want to think about them. We want a cigarette that we don't want to pay taxes for. Right out to those reservations. Come on, man. We got to wake up, man. Free up that bird. Let that bird fly and go about its business, man. That bird has absolutely nothing to do with this holiday, man. It's being put up there as a disguise for what's really going on. All right? So let's back off some of these holidays that we know for a fact that's not built for us. And stop gobbling up these ideologies wholesale. Let's give that turkey a break. I think we should give the turkey a break, right? And you know, start fasting on the matter, and you know, and replace the turkey with something else. If we place it with something else, then Thanksgiving, it'll help us see that Thanksgiving is something that's for every day. That's right. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. And those of us who have birthdays on this particular day, okay, granted, you have, like, in a sense, a justification for giving thanks today. But for the other 364 days of the year, all right, let's take our minds off this turkey. All right, one love.